Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the faith-based counselor, and in this short video, I want to just talk about. I saw something on Dumibilia's channel where she played some stitches of people reacting, and what was the reaction about? It's something Afrocentric. It's about Uncle Steve Harvey. Is it in Zambia now? I think, and people did not like how he was, like the way he spoke. They didn't like how he spoke while in the presence of the president of Zambia, and the way people reacted, I felt a little odd about that. Yes, I was uncomfortable with the way he was, but then I think that before we attack Uncle Steve, now understand I'm not a fan of his like that, but I think before we attack him, we have to understand that Americans have a different way of doing things. When they are at home with people, they're always they're very free. Let's just put it that way. And I probably think it's because he felt at home. That is why he feels comfortable. Maybe that is how he talks when he's among people that he feels safe with. Because we have to understand that in the United States, there is a lot of problem when it comes to, there can be some issues and gray areas, like some people like to call it, when it comes to black people and authority. But when they're in the midst of their people, for an outsider or somebody who did not grow up in that environment, you might see it as rude. You hear the names they call one another when they are greeting one another, and it's not a name that your African parents would would be comfortable with you using. So I think maybe we might want to look at it from that angle. Like, just correct him. I don't think insulting him and saying things like, I don't know why we're always going to them for help, begging them for help. First and foremost, let's remember something, Africans, let's remember something. We have leaders who are, for as long as we've had leaders, they have always been practically begging for help. So I don't see why begging one of our own for help is now suddenly a problem. Like, I don't know about you, but I would rather beg someone who looks like me for help, if I'm going to beg at all, than have to beg people who don't look like me, people who somehow think that, who see us as third world, rather than beg Europeans and the West and people who don't look like us for help. We see how leaders, the posture they have when they are going for these general meetings, all these global meetings, global leadership meetings. We see how they behave there. Don't we find that embarrassing sometimes? Like, can we go to these meetings like equals instead of going there as subordinates? But since we've been saying it, did they listen? No. So I don't know why we're now getting all on our soapbox because of how we feel Steve Harvey should have bowed his head while talking to, not bowed his head, obviously, but be more sir and sir, I suppose. Maybe that is what we imply, just correct him. Like, Uncle Steve, here we do not talk like this with our president. Can you kindly remember that you're in the presence of a president, and not, address our president like you would if you were in the presence of the American president. Just remind him. I think maybe he got carried away and felt like, I'm at home, I'm in the midst of my people, so yeah, I can just be myself. Maybe, just correct him, just give him the benefit of doubt. Again, like I said, I think it's better if we're going to beg at all. It's better we beg our own fellow black people to invest in Africa than for us to be begging the West and Europe. Like, what do you think? That's what I think anyway. And I don't see the president as begging. Yes, I heard that, and I think it speaks more about his humility. We know how some people can get when it comes to leadership in Africa. They'll be very, very brutal, very, very authoritarian, very, very, sometimes even mean to their fellow citizens. But the moment they're in the presence of Europeans and Westerners, they suddenly have this sense of humility. But seeing a president, like that, I just think we should be gentle. That's all.